Alright, we're always talking about knives, so I figured that I'd try a video on the other stuff. Actually, I just bought a bunch of sporks. I've always wanted to try them. We were up at that outdoor retailer show, so I was able to get a deal on some. And then I actually found this little pack at a surplus store in Salt Lake City for real cheap. And I actually found this one at that same surplus store. And I thought, hey, that's the workings of a good video on cooking and eating while we're in the outdoors. So anyway, I thought I'd try my hand at a video here. Now, first off, I've got a set of chopsticks. I buy these at the local Chinese grocery store, and I pay maybe $3 or $4, and I get a whole ton of these things. I get a lot of them. They're considered disposable, I guess. I like them. They're made out of a fairly strong fiberglass or plastic or something, and I use them until I either fall apart or lose one or drop one or something. But I like them. I even eat ice cream with them. I think chopsticks are the way to go. They're not you can't eat everything with them, so that's why I was looking for a spoon option, and I figured a spork might be the way to go. Now, everybody's familiar with just the kind of stuff you get at a takeout restaurant: spoon, a fork, a knife, and they're going to be various, levels of garbage. They're probably going to make you through a meal, but I'm looking for something that'll last for more than that. You've got your spoon from an MRE, which are a little more substantial than this type, and they're a little longer. They're made to go into an MRE bag and be able to dig food out from the bottom of that MRE bag. So they've got their points, but they're not great, and they don't really last forever. They've got sort of edges and corners and places that can fill with garbage, food, and just they get dirty. So I was looking for something, besides the stuff I can get for free. So I took a look at these sporks, and I won't do a video on the sporks. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there. Cutlery Lover did one that comes to mind where he busted one, and I was about to bend one until I remembered his video. So I did get it in a couple of cooler colors than I found at the store. I used to see these at Kmart or Walmart or somewhere, and I never bought one. Like I said, I'm cheap, so I ended up getting one at a little bit of a discount, and I figured I'd try them out. So this one's kind of an army green, OD green. This one is silver color. This one's sort of black, I guess, and then clear. What I think is neat is that the green one is just a bit different when I was looking at them all. And then if you look on the back, it says Made in Sweden, where none of the others say that. And if you look at some of the other things like the mold marks and stuff, it's just a little bit different. So I wonder if this isn't maybe a military one or something. Some of you knows more about them will have to tell me. Anyway, so I decided to get a couple of them to try them out. Really, I wanted to have one for each bag. And the idea is that it's a fork, it's a little bit of a rough area there, which is actually surprisingly sharp, and then a spoon, of course. And that's what I wanted it for, is just to have a spoon. I'm a fan of the spoons that you get for soup at Chinese restaurants, and this reminded me of that. Angle or whatever. So I got a couple of those. Then I also decided to get the titanium version. I figured the one I'm going to take with me, I want the titanium type, and again, I saw that Cutlery Lover video where he bent one of these things a little bit too much. So I figured getting a titanium one. This is my first piece of titanium gear, actually. I don't think I have anything else that's titanium. So it's very lightweight. I'd say it's probably not much lighter, or not much heavier, if it's any heavier at all, than the plastic versions. A couple of things that come to mind. I think these cost about $14. Again, I got mine a little bit cheaper because I was buying it at an event where they were on sale. But it's got this sort of textured area in the center, which on video or in pictures I could care less about, but once I'm holding it, it's a little weird. I would have wished they would have just made the whole thing smooth. The serrated part, for whatever reason, I guess because it's metal and they don't want it to seem too aggressive, this is very weak, and this is a lot more aggressive. In fact, I'd wager that the knife blade on this little cheap throwaway knife, fork, and spoon set is going to be more aggressive than this. So I guess because it's metal, they figure you can use a little bit more pressure or something, but I think I might even sharpen that. I don't understand why that's so dull. Anyway, the third thing, or the next thing that I'm not a big fan about this one, and I want to let people know about the good and bad, because this one isn't cheap. It's, like I say, a couple of bucks. When I eat with it, because I have used it a few times, it smells like metal. I don't know, I guess that's an aspect of titanium or something, but I've washed it, and it's still, I just smell the metal smell, and it's kind of a big deal when I'm putting this next to my nose to eat or whatever. A couple of times I thought, well, quit being, just quit being a baby about it and eat. And then I'm thinking, I like smelling my food. What's wrong with that? So I can't say I 100% like this one. I'm going to have to wash it with a couple of different soaps or something and see what happens. Otherwise, I like it a lot. It's super strong, doesn't weigh anything. I guess it won't set off a metal detector, and it's kind of neat to have my first piece of titanium. Now, I personally don't use the forks very often at all. In fact, like I say, I like to use chopsticks, but I figure having a fork isn't going to hurt anything, but I do like the idea of having a titanium spoon, and heck, if it's going to have a fork on the end, who cares? It's not too bad. So that's my adventure with Sporks. Then we were driving around Salt Lake City and found a cool surplus store that was open on Sunday, which a lot of things aren't open there. So I ended up for $1.99, $2. I ended up getting 3 of these little Sporks. And that's what they call them, Spork Little. And it's a 3-pack, and they had different options for colors. So I went with one that had a black, a white, and this yellow color. And it's literally just a smaller version of the big Spork. Spoon, same type of angle, and then fork. However, on the little one, I guess it's designed for giving kids to go to school or whatever, and so they don't have spork fights. They took the serrated part off. And maybe kids don't know how to eat, and they jam these in their face too fast. I have no idea. So anyway, got a couple of little ones, and I'm liking them. I used the little one the other day, and I think I'm going to like these even better. They are pretty strong. They're flexible, yet they hold their shape or whatever. So I'm thinking that having one of these in a bag is going to be worth it, just for that occasional time when you want to eat some ice cream, or heck, even if you're with a girl or something and she's looking for something better than a little disposable spoon or whatever. So I figured these weren't too bad for $2. However, at that same store they had this, which I'll probably do a separate review on, and they're calling it a Haluite Piranha Foon, and it's sort of a camping spoon fork thing. It says it's the ultimate lightweight compact utensil, proprietary ultralight hard anodized alloy, and then it says all that in French. So basically the things I liked about it was, again, it was very lightweight. I don't think it's titanium, but it's something aluminum or something. It's got a little bit of a carabiner type of hook here, which heck, these don't even have holes in them for a lanyard or anything. And then it's got a spoon with a little bit of a fork, I guess, on the front. Honestly, not sure what the point of this is. Maybe it's just to create a little bit of an edge so you can cut meat with it. But I'm thinking that for me this might work out perfect. Since I could care less about the fork part of the sporks, this might work out. However, it's not as well crafted. There's edges to this, a little bit sharp. Could be smoothed down just a hair. The nice thing about the sporks, which I guess I did mention, is they're all flat. There's really nothing to catch dirt or collect dirt. I noticed that when I was eating a frozen drink with this, some of the sugar got collected on this frosted part of the handle. But on a regular spork, except for maybe the writing or something, which is almost insignificant, there's really no edges to collect garbage or collect food. So it's real easy to clean these. I really like them. I have no idea what I think they cost a couple of bucks at the stores. Like I say, they were enough that I always hesitated. I think now that I've seen them, I'd honestly probably want to use one first, because if it's something you don't need, that you're not usually carrying around one of these, it might not be worth it for you. But if it is, they're definitely well made.